All right, let's get to our first audience question. You want to come over? Yeah. That's all we have from you guys?
Crazy, get up.
Hi, what's your name?
Hi, how's it going? My name is Christopher.
That's not what your shirt says.
I was just about to say, Christopher is an A on his shirt. I thought you were going to say my name is Alvin.
I would have lost it, though. Hi, Christopher.
I'm from Rhode Island. I just want to say it's an honor to meet you guys. You guys are all superstars, super legendary actors. You guys are awesome. I grew up watching you in Spy Kids, and then so many classic movies. You guys are super talented with your stunts and everything that you guys do. Big Star Wars fan. One of my questions are for Carrie. I think you had one of, first off, I want to say every time besides Tamara being on screen with the crossovers and stuff, every time each one of you were on screen, I think were probably the best scenes out of the whole show, by far. From Cad Bane's fight to Black Chrysanthemum and to the Rancor training.
Thank you.
Highlights of the show. My favorite scene was when Black Chrysanthemum attacked Boba from the back of the tank. And that was the first time we got to see an incredible Wookiee fight scene like we've probably never seen before on screen. And as a Chewbacca cosplayer myself, you did the stunts, correct?
I did, yeah.
The ability you did when you were lifting him up and just body slamming the Gamorrean guards and everything, it was just awesome. So what was it like filming that, and was anything challenging? And is there actually, how many different takes are there of that cut? Like, is there any extra scenes that you might have filmed that didn't make the final cut of the episode?
It all was hard. I mean, the hardest part is that we filmed and there was like that much water on the floor.
Yeah.
So I'm running around grabbing people. So the funny thing about that is, and it became the running joke on set, is I would film scenes with Tem, and then stuff that Tem couldn't do, like me throwing him across the floor. Then his stunt double would come in, right? So me and Tem go at it, and then I already cut, and then he goes, does his thing, and then his stunt guy comes out. Then we fight. Cut. All right. Then they bring back in Tem. But I'm still there, right? And then the next actor comes in, Jordan, and he comes in. We do a scene. Cut. All right. He goes out. His stunt double comes in. I'm still there. So they all get breaks. So I'm fighting like So there were doubles for all of them. So I'm basically fighting 9 people over and over again.
Yeah.
So that one was hard for me because there were moments where I'm like, all right, we got we got to get this shot, and there was no wires, there was no nothing. So when I lifted Tem out of that tank, that was me lifting him out of the tank. When I had to bear hug him, that was me holding him in the air. And there was a minute where your adrenaline's gone and you go at it, and Tem and I were going at it. Like, he hit me in the head for real. I bit his head for real, And then we're apologizing to each other. Hey, man, sorry we got into it. But it all was challenging. We honestly, surprisingly enough, we shot that over a day and a half. So which is quick for a scene like that. I mean, and for as many times we had to turn the camera around. Because it was basically me fighting Boba, and then I fought his street gang, and then I fought the Gamorrean guards, and then we continued it downstairs, and we kept going. So
it was badass.
So yeah, it was a lot, but it was fun, and I like that kind of thing. I like the challenge of doing my own stunts. I think for me, the worry is to continue my intensity, in terms of, like, if I was to have to then stop and have someone continue it, would they do what I would do? And maybe that's egotistical, but yeah, I love doing that. I love doing my own stunts. I love that adrenaline, and Robert Rodriguez, he directed all those scenes, all the fight, basically every scene that I was in fight wise. He directed that, even for the other directors, because he just knows how to do it. And he and I worked together before, and it's just a blast, It's a blast. And JJ Dashnaw was a stunt coordinator, and he was awesome as well. And all the stunt guys that I was throwing around, constantly apologizing to those dudes, because they also was a big part of that as well, But it was a lot. It was a lot, but it was all fun, and it showed on screen.
Did you see different cuts of the scene? Like, were there any other versions of it that took place? Do you know?
There were, everything that we did, they showed. I mean, other than the bad stuff. Like the parts where, you know, like I said, there was water on the floor and they were putting some gel on Tim to make him glisten. So every time they did it, it would be on the floor. So it was like running around with, you know, just on a bar of soap.
Yeah.
So, you know, there were times where I had to run across the room and I'd slip. You know, Robert was like, "Hey, are you tired?" Like, no, I just skied across the floor. Like, I'm not tired. Like, but other than that, everything that we did, it's in there. Yeah.
That's so cool. And how was it to fight, to train with the Rancors and stuff? Like, did you actually see they made like a facade head of one? Did you get to like?
You know, first of all, let me say that the stunt guys make a movie. You know, it's like, you know, when I show up on set, the first thing I tell the director is, "Hey, I don't jump off a curb." Ask them, stunt guys love me because you know, they work. I won't, and because you know, you have a lot of actors that say, "Well, I do my own stunts." They're full of doo-doo. I was gonna say that. I said the kid, no, they're full of doo-doo, and because you're making a $160 million movie, and your lead wants to do the stunt, it's like the producers will all beat him to death. And they got $160 million invested in this. They can't get him hurt, so.
Yeah. Your guys' presence alone was awesome. I'm gonna let the other people take a shot at a question.
Yeah.
Last thing I just want to say, can you do your best Wookiee impression? Because this is mine.
Oh my God.
You know what? If you would have let me go first before you asked that question, I would have did it. But I'm not doing it now because I can't do it as good as that.
Just a little.
Thank you.